Hello, I'm Karishma Gagwani from Cafemutual, and welcome to yet another interesting episode of Cheat with Cafemutual. While it is said that the coming decade is of India, is this really the decade for your investors too? To help you guide your retail investors better, we have with us today Rajesh Bhatia, CIO, ITI Mutual Fund. Hello, Rajesh.
Hi Karishma. Good to be here.
Very happy to host you today.
Yes.
So, Rajesh, to begin with, it is said that India is one of the fastest growing economies of the world. So, what investment opportunities does India hold for investors?
So Karishma, I think it's quite well known in our industry. I think it's fairly well advertised that India is really the growth engine of the world. Everybody across the world is really looking forward to India growing from a $3.5 trillion economy to a eventually a $10 trillion economy. I think that aspect is quite well known. I think let me add some color to that as an analyst. So I can tell you that when I look at several businesses, several sectors, when we look at the opportunity for growth of each of these businesses, we see a very large runway. And that's what is very exciting for me. What is exciting is that I am able to participate in a breadth of sectors where I can see growth over multiple years, right? Whether it is life insurance, whether it is hospitals, whether it is automobile, whether it is the penetration of banking, all of these sectors are poised to grow over the next 3, 5, or 10 years. That large runway of growth is what excites me about India as a equity destination, because we have been a fantastic equity market. Over the last 43 odd years, we have generated 16% per annum, and some people would say it is the best time to be in India. So I think given that breadth of growth and the diversity of opportunity, I'm very excited that India is poised to do extremely well as far as equity markets are concerned. So that's really my perspective.
All right. So, since we are talking about the breadth of growth and diverse opportunities, what are those 2 or 3 things that a distributor should keep in mind to help his retail investor make the most of it?
So, the first thing that comes to mind is asset allocation, right? I think asset allocation matters a lot. In India, most retail investors are either in fixed income or in equity, right? So just let's talk about that. The fact is that all asset markets go through their own cycles, right? And sometimes what starts as a good thing becomes, an excessive, because human emotions are involved in valuing assets, right? So equity markets and debt markets go through excessive and undervaluation over a long period of cycle. So let us say what happened in the 2000 NASDAQ bubble. Was internet a revolutionary thing? We are finding out it was. But then what started as a good thing became a bubble, right? A lot of companies were valued emotionally rather than rationally. So it was time for you at that time to take money off equity and put it into fixed income. So I think asset allocation is the first thing that I think is important to know as you play the cycles of these asset markets. The second thing I would say is important in my experience is temperament. It's the temperament, or rather keeping emotional balances in check is the most important thing as you participate in equity or fixed income markets. Now, the tendency to kind of sell when things are bad, it's easy to say buy low and sell high. But what tends to happen is when people are depressed, they actually tend to sell. And people are euphoric, they actually tend to buy more. So I think you should be really doing the reverse. So I think the second thing I would say, which is most important that I have seen, is keeping the emotional balances in check. Those are the kind of 2 things that I would say. The third thing is don't miss equity as an asset class in India. We have done extremely well for 43 years, and we are poised to do well over the next 5 or 10 years as well. So don't get taken out of this equation because you're expecting a 3-month or a 6-month correction. There's good money to be made in equities as you move forward.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Rajesh, for your valuable insights. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of Cheat with Cafemutual. We'll be back with another interesting episode. Until then, goodbye.